Hey guys, Morten here. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to a grey, bit colder Oslo this Saturday. A Saturday where I'm contemplating whether or not to go out. A lot of the streets are blocked off and a lot of the public transport has been diverted because this weekend or this Saturday is Oslo Marathon. But yesterday, before, or rather while they were still putting up fences, and what do you call them? Sperringer in English. What is that? I don't remember. Hindrance. I was out and about a bit because my back felt better and it felt nice to be out. And I had to go and get UPS parcel somewhere with some records I ordered. I wasn't going to initially go to Rock and Rolls, which is where the purchases that I'm going to show today are from. But then there was a Facebook thing where they showed some stuff that they had been, put up for sale, and one of them attracted my attention. So I went there, and yes, they did have it. It was a tad expensive, and but I did buy it, and kind of regret it because it's a cassette, and I can't get it to work properly. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep it as a souvenir, which cassettes are in a way for me. They're like some bands where I have a. Well, I don't have the entire. Well, I do have the entire discography of Kiss studio albums on CD, not on vinyl, but some other bands where I'm got it, and I bought some cassettes as sort of souvenirs, but always wanted this on cassette. Now I contacted them, and they said I could bring it back. And you're thinking, well, I'm thinking maybe a 50. You shouldn't be surprised that a 50-year-old cassette doesn't work. The thing is, my 53-year-old Paul McCartney cassette that I bought 3 weeks ago works perfectly fine. But it seems that this Hotter Than Hell is a bit of a problem. So I don't know, guys, what to do. It's my cassette player. It can't turn it properly. All the other cassettes I have work fine. Well, all 7 or 8 of them that I have here in Oslo. So yeah, I don't know what to do. If I'm gonna return it, and they don't. I don't think they give you your money back there. They let you pick something else. So yeah, not sure, but I thought it was. It's a Dutch copy, and it looks really good. I love this style. So yeah, not sure what to do about that. I did pick up a couple of other things. This is also maybe not enough reason to make a video, but this is Yes, and this is Keys to Ascension 2. I did tell you guys in a previous video that I thought that I had now completed my Yes discography, apart from their very latest CD, or record, which I don't have yet. But it turns out there was a Keys to Ascension 2 that I was unaware of. I think I looked at it in the store and when I picked up the other one and thought this was just some sort of I don't know, something. So yeah, it's disc 1 is recorded live in San Luis Obispo, and disc 2 are new studio tracks, and that's why this is considered one of their albums in their discography. Really nice CD, very nice price, much cheaper than that not working cassette. But on the way out, I walked up to the section where they have French language records and some other stuff. Didn't find anything that I was looking for there, but then I started sort of look. They have a long section at Rock and Rolls called Scandinavia, which basically means Swedish and Danish music, because they have a different section for Norwegian bands and artists. So I was sort of walking along there, and then I was I suddenly remembered a band name, and I thought, wonder if they have the record by this band, because they only made one record. And lo and behold, they did. They actually have an what I assume is a pretty old copy, because it was really expensive. So I flicked that away, because I know I'm not paying that for a over 50-year-old record. And then I saw a copy of it, which looked much nicer and much nicer in price. It's a re-release from 2015, and this is it. Ja, du kan vel sige måske, at jeg har fået hjemmevæg, altså fordi jeg savner Danmark. I guess you could say I was homesick as well at that moment. Missing Denmark. So this is Steppeulvene, the Steppenwolves. So this was a Danish band formed. I think they were formed the same year they released this, in 1967. And it's so this, I guess today you would probably call this psych rock, psychedelia, definitely hippies. So what happened is we got this is a really nice write-up about the band from back then, and it was formed by here it says the singer Eik Skallø, the guitarist Stig Møller, with Søren Seirup on bass, and Preben Devantier på trommer on drums. Now, Eik Skallø was, I guess he was a classic hippie of the day. He had traveled extensively around the world, very young, in northern Africa and lots of places in Europe, etc. And he was foremost a writer. And I mean, such a cool cover too. So yeah, the album is actually called Hip. So it's like Steppenwolf, the California band, which formed the same year, in 1967. It's the name of the novel by Hermann Hesse, and the lyrics are also, part of that whole thing. And when Hip came out on the 1st of June in 1967, it came out. It was pressed in 700 copies, and it took upwards towards 2 years to sell those 700. 21 years later, in 1988, the surviving members of the band was presented with a silver disc for having sold 25,000 copies in Denmark. Today, and this is 2015, it's assumed that they have sold more than 100,000. It's hard to tell, because this record has been released by several now defunct record companies over the years, and sales also picked up with CDs when a younger generation discovered them. And yeah, we have guys meeting and not having instruments, having been to prison for breaking into pharmacies, poetry. I think the guitarist initially had a record deal, and the record company wanted him to sing songs of a type that he sort of balked at, and then he got together with Ike, so Ike and Stig Møller, and also they made a decision to sing in Danish, this type of music, which was a very novel idea at the time. And if you know anything about Danish music, one of the sort of the monoliths of Danish rock music history is the band Gasoline, of course fronted by folkekær, beloved artist Kim Larsen, who was huge in Denmark and also in Norway. I mean, for Norwegians, summer holiday in Denmark is hygge, which is a Norwegian word as well, but we also say kos. And coming there, and you can sit down and you can drink a bottle of beer and don't feel like the Protestant socialist community of Norway is looking down at you and judging you, because in Denmark things are things are allowed, so to speak. And Kim Larsen, and listening to Kim Larsen, is a very big part of that. And they said that this record in many ways prompted them to sing in Danish, because nothing is as Danish as Gasoline, and it's sung in Danish. They did later try to break into America and translate stuff into English, but it's a pretty big failure. And Kim actually managed to fail twice, because he went to, after a huge success as a solo artist, he went to the States and tried to release a couple of English language records over there, which were not a big success. But yeah, back to these guys. So what happened to them? Why did they only release that one album? Ike was he was a person of his time and his life and his lifestyle, and they had things to do as a band, to play live. They did a bit, but they had to, over the months that followed the release of this album, they had to several times cancel because he didn't appear. He just didn't arrive at set dates or hours, and suddenly letters starts arriving to his family that he I think without telling them or anyone or the band, had gone to India. And that's kind of it, I think they tried to recruit. They did recruit another guy to sing and so on, but the letters suddenly dried out, and it turns out in, was it October 1968, he is found dead on the border on the Indian side of the border between India and Pakistan. And he'd written a note telling, and he'd written a note, explaining why he did what he did, and that was the end of him, and in some ways also the band Steppeulvene. And I remember growing up and seeing this album at my older brother's record collections or friends' records collections down in Denmark and so on. And I've been sort of aware of it in a sense, but it's great to finally have it. It's definitely one of those records that you get because it's good. I like it. I like this music very much, but it very much it presses the right buttons for me as far as my Danishness goes, and it's one of those things that especially when I'm here in Norway, I grab for things that are Danish because I miss it sometimes a lot, and I hope this will help. Anyway, guys, I don't know if this was any good for you or interesting, special for me. I got a bit distracted there because there was yet another phone. I'm being, not reaching a guy who disappears to India, but now you're being called constantly by hijacked telephone numbers. I don't remember the last time I answered the phone and didn't feel apprehension, dread, or fear. So thanks for that 2020s or even before that. Yeah. Anyway, guys, if you've been watching this far, tusind tak. I er rigtig søde, og jeg synes, I alle sammen er nogle dejlige mennesker. Please click like, please subscribe. Hope to see you soon in another video. Bye. Måske også fordi man ikke har drukket en øl i 9 måneder.